What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the J&C show. My name is Creeps, his name is Jobber, and today we're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver Toronto and SummerSlam 2019. But today we have a special guest, our first special guest. We have our friend Harvester for the win.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah, great introduction. Not hey guys, hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
So we're here obviously to talk about the so far the start of a great weekend. We obviously still have Raw and SmackDown. The weekend is far from over, but we are going to start with NXT TakeOver, and we will be doing a rating out of 10 for both TakeOver and SummerSlam, and then out of 5 for the matches themselves. So how would you boys rate? How would you boys rate TakeOver out of 10?
I'm gonna give NXT TakeOver Toronto about an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a really good show.
Harvester.
Toronto, I'd give it out of 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Toronto.
I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. It was a great takeover. It was that good of a takeover. I am giving it a 9. So we'll start off with the opening contest. The NXT Tag Team titles on the line. The Street Profits and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the Undisputed Era.
I think they always start with tag team matches on NXT TakeOver because they know that tag team matches are always the best, especially down at NXT. The tag team matches that they normally have are fucking amazing. So they want to obviously always start with the best of the best. That kicks the vibe of the show off. I definitely think the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era was an amazing match. I was kind of expecting the Undisputed Era to win, but the Street Profits shocked me, and I guess they shocked my system.
Pun intended.
The Street Profits pulled off the win in an amazing match.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. NXT tag matches never really disappoint. Don't remember the last time I actually got disappointed by one. Always kick off the show to get fans hype. And I like the Street Profits attires. They looked like they were fucking going to a basketball game.
Don't they always look like that though?
I don't know. I mean, last time I watched NXT was like the last takeovers, you know.
The fun thing is about the Street Profits is they always interact with the fans. Like, you see them jumping for the WWE universe. They have a great connection with the fans, so that's why they're so loved in NXT right now. And as Creep said, they definitely shocked my system because I had the Undisputed Era because of the whole rumor thing that was going around that the Undisputed Era being draped in gold at Toronto. So that was why I had them, and they've been going to Raw and SmackDown, so that was another reason as well.
Yeah, I thought that the Street Profits could lose and then go to Raw.
Yeah.
Shit, good thing I had the Street Profits then. Let's go, boys.
So, as I said, we're giving the matches a thing out of 5. But before we do that, where do the Street Profits go from here? That's the next question.
I think they'll probably go head-to-head with the Forgotten Sons because I don't really think they're going to do face versus face, like them versus Breezango. I think the Forgotten Sons are the ones to challenge them next.
What other teams are there in NXT? Because there's obviously the Forgotten Sons, there's Breezango. Are only Lurkin and
the only ones I can think of.
Are only Lurkin and Danny Burch still a tag team down there? Because I know
Oni's on 205 Live.
No, there's not much teams down in NXT, is there? So it has to be the Forgotten Sons, because they're not going to do face versus face. It would be good, but not much of a storyline.
I mean, I personally think the Forgotten Sons will be the next ones, but I still think the Street Profits will end up still being champs. And I do think
they'll still be champs, yeah.
They'll be the ones to eventually take it off. I think Breezango somewhere down the line.
The thing is, though, when the Street Profits go to Raw or SmackDown, they're only going to have like 3 teams in NXT. They're going to have to build the tag team division up because currently at the moment they've only got like 4 teams.
Shit.
And that is quite bad, especially since Oni's gone. Technically, Oni does both because he has been doing a few house shows in NXT apparently. So it is possible he might still be down there. Apparently, Danny Burch is injured, so that might be something. Yeah. That's another tag team.
But in terms of the star rating, I would give it probably a 4 out of 5. It was a really solid match.
Harvester.
I'd give it probably a three, 3 3/4 stars, 3.75 stars. Whatever you want to say, I'd give it that.
3.7. Okay, I'll give it a 3.5. Not a high rating, but 3.5 is average, I'd say. So, moving right along to our second match of the TakeOver card, which was Io Shirai and Candice LeRae.
Io Shirai is killing it as a heel right now.
Yeah, I personally agree. I wasn't the biggest fan of the match, but I think the best part was Io's heel work. I think she was doing great as a heel.
I mean, here's a fun fact for you guys. The Io Shirai storyline was originally written for Kairi Sane before she went off to the main roster.
Actually?
It actually was.
Damn.
If I know you probably don't remember because you don't watch NXT that much, but Io Shirai was teaming up with Kairi for a while, and then she got called up to the main roster for the Kabuki Warriors with Asuka. That's something. So they kind of dropped that storyline, but they continued it a wee bit and kind of threw Candice LeRae onto that storyline, so you could really see where the storyline was, that it really felt like Candice was going after Io, that they'd been tagging for a while, but they hadn't. It was made for Kairi Sane.
So you're telling me I have to blame Vince for another storyline getting slightly ruined?
I mean, Vince is apparently getting more hands-on with NXT, so panic.
Oh god,
now.
don't even go there.
No.
Just don't stop. Just stop.
It'll be the last
But
good TakeOver.
I agree with you guys that Io has been doing great as a heel, and I do hope she goes for the NXT Women's title somewhere down the line. But we'll talk about the NXT Women's title later on. So, what do we rate this? I give it a 5. I'm going to start this one and give it a 5.
Wait, really? You think it's better than the tag team match?
No,
Oh, damn.
yeah, yes. Io's great as a heel, so I love it. 5. I love Io Shirai.
She is, but I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it was better than the tag team match, but I think that Io Shirai, given more time, can actually do great things in NXT. Same with Candice. I think Candice is probably the next, or the only in this takeover in the future.
Fair enough. I would personally give it a 3 out of 5. I think, even though I like both of them, and I was very into, I was very into Io's heel work. The match itself, like their wrestling, couldn't really get into it properly. I liked whatever like Io did as a heel, but like the actual wrestling, I couldn't really get into it properly. So I'd give it a 3 out of 5 myself.
Solid. So the next match, or segment, wasn't even a match. It was Matt Riddle and Killian Dane engaged in a wild brawl. Like, what do we say about that?
I had no clue that was even a thing, because I don't keep up with NXT that much. I didn't even know that them two were like a thing, so when he came out, I was
they've been
like,
having sort of feuds, like different stuff.
Like, Killian Dane debuted a few weeks ago, and it was after a Matt Riddle match. He literally attacked him and he dropped him through the stage. So they were supposed to have a match there last week on NXT, but Killian Dane attacked Matt Riddle before the match even started, so they never actually had a match. So I can see one down in the future, but this brawl, let's talk about the brawl.
I don't know if you guys saw, but this sort of happened around SummerSlam time. Matt Riddle actually had a confrontation with Goldberg. It wasn't on TV, but he mentioned it in the watch along.
Yeah, he walked past him, didn't he? And he fell.
What I thought was interesting was how WWE uploaded that clip of the watch along of him talking about Goldberg in the confrontation. I thought that was a bit interesting how they uploaded that as a video on YouTube.
Oh damn. Oh,
yeah, so I'm sort of thinking that they're gonna try and push for Goldberg versus Matt Riddle at some point, probably WrestleMania.
Saudi Arabia.
And then Matt gets squashed. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt just gets squashed. But in all seriousness though, I don't know when Killian and Matt Riddle's gonna fight off.
They are going to have a match. But I wouldn't say the next takeover, because I'm pretty sure the next takeover is around Survivor Series time. So I don't think they'll drag that out. They'll just have a throwaway match on NXT somewhere. How do we rate?
Yeah, probably.
What do we rate this brawl to say?
I don't know. Are we rating the brawl out of 5?
I can't really rate the brawl. I think we need to rate the matches, not the brawl, because
It was a fun brawl. I was a big fan of
Okay,
Matt
yeah,
getting
it
up
was,
security
yeah.
guards and a GTS. I was like, oh, nice.
Okay, so we won't rate this, but that happened, and it was a great brawl. So we move on match wise. So this is our third match of the night, the triple threat match, probably second greatest match of the night. The Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong, and the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne for the North American Championship.
My God, this was an epic match, and Velveteen Dream is getting so much better as takeovers go on.
Yeah, Velveteen
Yeah.
is like the hottest thing in NXT in my opinion. Everyone loves him. He always has the best entrances, of course. Like this one where he was
Yes.
fucking Mountie and then he did some NBA shit. But
He
yeah,
has the best
can make,
attires, the best entrances,
he
best
can make
matches.
anything work. He's just fire. They created something great with him from scratch.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Velveteen's always done the best things, like whether that's dressing up as Hulk Hogan, putting "Call Me Up" Vince on his tights, just everything Velveteen does, you love him even more every time he evolves.
Hmm.
I
What do we
definitely think
do?
he's staying in NXT for a while.
Well, he's definitely staying down because now with this match, with him retaining, it's going to set up a feud between him and Pete Dunne. Don't know what they're going to do with Roderick though.
I'm not sure, because I do think that down the line when the Undisputed Era splits, because I think Roddy always seems like the outcast of the group.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't look right in the group. So what I think might happen is, I think at the next NXT takeover, because obviously Johnny's going to the main roster, as we'll talk about later.
We'll talk about that later.
But I do think that they could give Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong a shot at the NXT Championship.
That's what I want to see.
I think Undisputed Era could turn on Roddy, leading Roddy to be a babyface. And they could do that, Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong.
I'm not sure about them turning on him yet because I feel like it would. Because if Undisputed Era, like Fish and Riley, if they had gold and so did Adam, maybe it would make more sense to turn on Roderick. But because it's only Adam with the titles, I feel like it would be a bit weird for them all to turn on Roderick. Because maybe if he was the one with that title, they could moan at him. Or if he was the only one with a title.
That's why I was thinking, that he could be the only one with the title.
Yeah. So maybe that could work. But
my prediction on this is there's a battle royal or something, and Roderick's in there, and he ends up winning the battle royal, and they think it's going to be a friendly match. But as the build-up happens, it kind of pushes Roderick away from the group. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But
or Roderick as like a shocking win, maybe for the title or something,
Yes,
and then they
yeah.
turn on him to try and get back.
Moving on from Roderick, what about Pete? It's building up to Pete and Dream at the next takeover, I feel.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like it. Yeah. Because I felt like that Pete Dunne wasn't really like he didn't really like. I'm trying to remember the match, right? The things. Pretty sure Pete didn't really go for like Roderick that much. Did he? Didn't really hate him, but it was like Velveteen that he sort of had like a problem with. So like, and because Roderick's probably gonna do like other storylines, I feel like
on that point, Pete did kind of have a little bit of history with Roderick. Obviously, back to when Roderick turned his back on him. That kind of still there in Pete's mind, but it was mostly about Velveteen was the main thing that Dunne went after.
Yeah, and I think it would be. I mean, Pete will never put on like a bad match, and Velveteen it's hard to put on something that's not entertaining. So I think they'd be great together. I don't think Pete had a chance of winning, in my opinion, because he had that so long NXT UK title reign. I don't think he's going to get a title for quite a bit. So I didn't.
Okay, so where do we rate this, boys?
I'm gonna give it a 4.2 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Very, very much enjoyed it. If it wasn't for the main event, it would have been my favorite match.
I'm with Harvester, 4.5. It's not quite 5, but 4.5 solid for that triple threat match. That's why I said second best match of the night. Even though I give Io and Candice a 5-star, that could be potential 5-star, you know. So, fourth match of the night, the NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim with Matt Riddle in
This
her entrance.
was what? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Matt Riddle was in Mae Yim's entrance.
It
was
was.
a bit odd. Yeah, right at the front. It was a bit.
Pretty obvious.
But with this match, I think it was probably the worst match on the card. It wasn't as good as the other matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was the weakest part, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Shayna Baszler. I love her reign. She's like, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Lackluster feud. She only has like one feud per takeover, from Kairi Sane to Io Shirai to Bianca Belair, Mia Yim. She's only had like one feud. She's never had an ongoing feud. I think Ember was her last ongoing feud.
What shocked me was that Shayna Baszler is actually older than Beth Phoenix, which is quite crazy to think.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, but when you look at them, maybe you can think it. But just thinking of it, like, oh yeah, so like a Hall of Famer.
No,
like...
it's how Beth Phoenix is a Hall of Famer, and then Shayna Baszler's down in NXT. She hasn't even got the main roster yet, and she's older.
Yeah, it's mad.
So
I also feel like this, because wasn't the story before it, like, didn't Mia keep taking out like her friends, like Duke and Shafir, or whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she took out
like,
Duke
and then
and
she
Shafir.
Yeah, then she hurt Baszler's arm and all that. But then because of all of that, it sort of, and all of this build up, it sort of hurt Mia. I feel that she just sort of lost still. Like with clean, like it was clean, wasn't it? I'm not remembering.
Yeah, it was clean. It was clean. It was a clean finish.
So after all of this, no one liked to help her or anything, and purposely taking out the others before the takeover.
That's why Mia took out Duke and Shafir, so there was no one with Shayna, because they normally run down in the matches and aid her, but this time nothing.
But she still lost pretty cleanly and pretty like made sense. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the weakest match on the card. And I mean,
I definitely feel Mia could get a rematch and get another shot at the title and maybe win it then. But until then, I don't know. I don't know where Shayna goes from here. People wanted her to go up.
I don't know. It is Dakota Kai close to returning?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Because I was thinking that could be her. That could be her next feud, Shayna Baszler's next feud.
Someone did mention that in the live stream for like the pay-per-view watch party for Toronto. Someone did say, "Oh, Dakota's going to be Shayna's return, or Dakota's return match against Shayna."
So who do you guys think is actually going to take the title from her?
It's really hard to say.
I think it'll be Candice. It'll definitely be Candice, in my opinion.
I think Io's going to take it. I think.
No, because that wouldn't. I don't think I'd like that, because it would be a heel taking it from a heel.
I don't know. That's opinions, but for the other,
I think have Candice beat Shayna, then down the line have Io beat Candice. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, I'll agree with you on that one. So what do we rate this match then? 2.
2.5 out of 5. Yeah.
I'm just going 2.
Actually, I'll go for 2. I'll go for 2.
I'd give it a. What? 2.5.
I mean, to be honest, they could have Ronda Rousey take the title from Shayna.
Shut up.
I mean, if Vince is gonna get more involved, he'd be like, Ronda, go to fucking NXT.
So, Harvester, what were you rating that? Did you say 2? Or
we all had 2.
2.5.
2.5. Okay. Main event time. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. Come on.
This is definitely one of the best NXT matches, like, in NXT history. It had everything. They used every single weapon in that match.
Can we talk about Johnny's gear? Wolverine.
I like that. Yeah, Wolverine.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Johnny always delivers when it comes to takeover things. Like, I hope if he goes to the main
superhero attires.
I hope if he goes to the main roster, he doesn't stop that. I want him to continue that if he goes to the main roster.
I don't know. I mean, people have done like Seth did like a Thanos thing last SummerSlam, so it doesn't stop people from doing Marvel stuff. So. Should be great.
But yeah,
in terms of the match, I think the first fall was underwhelming.
First fall
Well,
was just,
first
just,
fall was
just
very
a standard,
well,
standard
first fall was very
standard,
underwhelming.
standard wrestling match was first fall.
Yeah, I didn't really hate the first. I think I was still hurt from their last match, where I didn't like the match at all, except the last fall, which was great. So this one, I felt nice. I enjoyed every fall, to be honest. This match. Again, the first fall weakest, but it was still good in my opinion. It was still.
I think,
good.
to be honest, I think the first fall was the weakest because the others were the strong, like, points of the match, especially
Yeah.
that final fall.
Yeah, the match, which is called 2 out of 3 falls, should be called 3 stages of hell, but I guess hell isn't allowed in this PG era.
What was the second fall?
Second fall was
It
a
was a
street fight.
unsanctioned.
Street fight, yeah.
Unsanctioned, yeah, street
That-
fight. Because
that
that was
was a really
Johnny who
good
chose
part.
that. Johnny
Yeah.
knew what the second one was. That's why he hit Adam with a chair, so he knew what was coming, and he was like, right, I got this. As soon as I hit
But-
Adam Cole with a chair, he'll get the point, but then this leads into my fall.
Yeah, can't we call Gargano a bit stupid? Because he is the reason himself. He got DQ'd, so Adam got the first point. And then Gargano, okay, ends up losing the match at the end. So it's like, wait a minute, Gargano, you're a bit of a stupid. Like, come on. Like, that's quite...
I mean, we
Quite-
knew it was going to go to your third fall. Like, I don't forget. When was the last time a
Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls match went clean sweep? When was the last time that happened?
Cesaro vs Dolph Ziggler at Hell in a Cell 2014.
There we go.
Well,
2014.
actually, no, I think there was a tag match, something to do with the Usos. I don't remember because they had so many matches. Like, not
Oh
that
yeah, the
often.
Usos vs Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, man, from Royal Rumble 2018, I think, or 2018.
Yes, I
2018,
think
yeah.
so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's good, yeah. Well,
But
this
okay, so that was the second fall, the street fight, and then the third fall, which was announced by William Regal, was the steel cage barbed wire thing.
Ambrose Asylum.
In other words,
Pretty much the Ambrose Asylum.
but they wouldn't say that.
The Moxley Asylum.
Yes.
The Moxies, yeah.
So they pretty much used every weapon in that cage.
Yeah, it was so much aggression, and like in this, like from the second fall to the third, they just got more and more like aggressive and violent to each other.
And the
It
fact
was
it
just- it
was
was so
the fact it was a pin and submission only, couldn't even escape it. You had to use every weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if you try to escape because you're a doofus, I mean, there's some barbed wire there. We'll get the barbed wire later. Jesus Christ.
I mean, there was a point in the match where Johnny took the barbed wire off the top and he could have escaped easily.
True, but then he wouldn't have won it because they said it, didn't they?
Yeah, even if Johnny had got out, what would he do? Just like, come get me, Adam.
Get some more.
I think it would be cool if they wrapped the barbed wire around like this, like the actual cage itself instead of just around the top.
Yeah. Should have got a baseball bat and wrapped it around that. Be like, there you go, boys.
Dead Rising style.
Oh,
Oh crap!
big rip.
Oh, there's a smoke alarm in the
We have
podcast.
to,
Holy
we
crap!
have to pause this thing.
So basically, we were talking
So
about
the final fall, the
Yes.
steel cage, the them on top of
Great.
the steel cage.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I feel like they still had great. Like, I loved the constant super kicks to each, not constant, but super kick and then super kick, and they did a double super kick. I'm pretty sure, didn't they? And they fell.
I mean,
Um,
Adam Cole
when they
hitting
look like
his
in the
like what do you call it? The movie does from the corner off the ladder. That was fantastic.
Was that the
Yeah,
Pana-
okay.
the Panama Sunrise?
Yes, that yeah.
Yeah,
I was trying
and
to think of the
sunrise.
name.
He went. Yeah, he was like on top, not standing on top, but like the top step, and he like jumped and fucking did it. That was great. Don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Should I swear? I don't know. Is
No,
that
we've been
allowed?
swearing- We've been swearing this
Yes.
whole thing, so yes, this is uncut, on PG. So.
Dumb cunt.
Well, I mean, they fell from the top of the steel cage through a table, and Adam Cole got his back busted open from barbed wire.
Adam was like, okay, I don't want to get hit with that, but there's tables down there. Let's jump off together, and we're gonna hit the tables, and I'll pin you. He jumps, and then they go through only one table. Sadly, the other one didn't break, but it still looked great because it was top of the cage in the corner. But he still got oofed because the barbed wire cut his back, and it looked so
And
bad.
straight up cut
Oh.
his back.
Oh, it was like as he landed.
Yeah.
Don't know if that was on purpose or not. Probably not. Gargano, you. Bleh. But yeah, he got the pin though, so he was pinned straight after. He was smart. But yeah, great, very good takeover, great main event,
Yeah.
great triple threat, good start match. Sadly, the two women's matches wasn't the biggest fan of, but you know.
So how do we rate
With TV
this?
coding.
I think 5.
Had the first fall been a bit better, I would give it 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4.8 out of 10. I mean 5.
I'm gonna give it
4.8 out of 5.
Well, because I only do like quarters and then halves of stars, so I'd give it like a 4 3/4 out of 5, so 4.75 out of 5.
I give it full 5. Overall, very good takeover. But now, on to SummerSlam.
Let's go. So should you breeze through the kickoff? Like do this one quickly? Or?
We can breeze through it. We can Tyler breeze through the kickoff show. Cruiserweight Championship match: Gulak and Lorcan.
I didn't pay much attention.
What I did realize was that they didn't do much of the usual kickoff cruiserweight matches where it's like they try to get the crowd hyped by doing a bunch of flippy shit. They did some nice technical wrestling. I didn't pay attention to that.
There's not much flips they can do with Gulak and Lorcan. It's like Gulak's got a no-fly zone, and technically Lorcan can do some high-flying stuff, but not a lot.
But I was a fan of how it's not just the usual cruiserweights. Oh yeah, we're gonna flip like 24/7. Nothing wrong with that, but you know they did some actual good, nice technical wrestling.
It was different. It was different.
When I wasn't on Instagram,
Speaking
I
of,
loved it.
just Harvester mentioned 24. We'll talk about 24/7 title later because there was some shenanigans with that.
Oh dear.
Kickoff panel. There was it was R-Truth and Carmella hiding underneath the glass panel. Drake Maverick was there. Then he walked off, and they're like, "So there's some people underneath the glass panel."
Also, in the kickoff, we have Buddy Murphy and Apollo Crews. As we said, why?
It was only set up to allow the Rowan interference.
Yeah, Rowan interfered to build up more of the Roman Reigns attack thing.
Yeah.
So,
Which they still don't know what the fuck they're doing.
they haven't.
The wrestling Apollo just got shipped to the side. But
As
last thing I
me-
remember, Apollo did like a tope suicida, and then he went in the ring, and then Murphy gets up, and then out of nowhere Rowan. I'm like, oh.
I mean, as me and Creech predicted, it was either going to be Daniel Bryan or Samoa Joe against Roman at SummerSlam, but instead we get Buddy Murphy and Apollo Crews.
I mean, pretty legit. Roman wasn't even on SummerSlam at all.
I was going to say Roman wasn't even on SummerSlam. You had Daniel Bryan backstage after Rowan attacked Murphy, so I think this week on SmackDown it's going to be Murphy versus Rowan or Murphy versus Bryan, which me and Creech are fine with. Rushing through on the kickoff show again, Edge. Rated R Superstar.
Oh my god.
I did not expect him to actually hit the spear on Elias.
The Raider Superstar. Fucking your neck isn't broken
was that
from that.
Edge's first spear since 2011?
Yep.
I believe so, yes.
His last spear, I mean, it wasn't that mania because he recorded a SmackDown before that. It was on a big show or something. But if you look at the recording of his final spear, you can tell that he looks disturbed when he does it. And this spear was great, and I was like, oh, he didn't break his neck.
It was good.
I was just
it was your typical Elias performance, but when Edge came out, obviously being in Toronto, we weren't expecting him to hit a spear, and when he did, everyone was like, what?
Yeah, I'm just shook that like he can do that. Like, was it a one-time thing? Even so, like that's a risk. Maybe he was completely allowed. I don't even know. It was great. He just walks off afterwards, no talking. Like what?
Yeah, Edge literally said nothing, and the weird part was, the rest of the show had pyro. Edge didn't.
I know, like what?
They didn't get ready for the kickoff. They're like, that's fine.
And we'll finish with a kickoff show. The women's tag team titles: Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Iconics. What do we say?
No. Again, I didn't really. Yeah, it was pretty lackluster for and its kickoff. I wasn't shocked, but I mean, what I can say is something about the result. Even though I love the Iconics, and I feel like they can, if they were, booked properly because I'm pretty sure Vince, it's been said he doesn't care about the women's tag titles. So that's probably why the Iconics never showed up. Which I would have loved them being champs, but would have preferred them being champs, but because Nikki Cross and Alexa are champs, and they've been like a sort of a good angle between them, and Alexa's sort of a babyface now, and because Vince definitely does like Alexa, we're going to be seeing more of the tag titles now, because it's still on them. So it's a good result in the end.
I mean, make things a whole lot better. Alexa Bliss was wearing a Buzz Lightyear themed attire, so that gives you thumbs up from me.
Yeah, that was good. And she put her arm out doing like one part like she was Buzz.
Yeah, but she was pretending to shoot the laser. That was fantastic. Okay, so
Billy had like horns.
Yeah, she was Maleficent. So it was pretty much Disney versus Pixar. Yeah, that was Maleficent.
I think she's always had that Maleficent thing.
I remember her having the horns before. Yeah, I just never thought of Maleficent.
Okay, so we gotta rate the kickoff matches out of 5. Cruiserweight match, I'm gonna give it a 3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Murphy and Apollo, gonna give it a 2.
Yeah. 2. Yeah, 2.
And as far as the women's tag titles go, I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
2.5.
I'd give it a 2.25. So 2.25 stars.
Okay, so now we're on to the main show, the main actual part of SummerSlam. Surprisingly, we were all weirded out by this. It kicked off with Becky Lynch, the man, Becky Lynch, and Natalya in a submission match.
I feel like it was smart to kick off the show like this because I think WWE realized that the fans didn't really care about this match because of Becky's opponent. No, nothing against Natalya. I just feel like it didn't really work that well. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't that into the match. Most people went into the match. Making it a submission match was fine, but again, the match itself was creepy.
It wasn't as good as I'd like. It
Yeah.
wasn't as good as I'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It had your typical like submission, like a lot of submissions in it, which I would have thought for a submission match. But I mean, it had your typical spots.
It had your typical spots with submissions where Becky used this sharpshooter, Natalya used the arm, the disarmer. So typical spots. There was a great spot with Natalya hitting the sharpshooter on the top rope. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. That was very nice. One thing I thought was weird about the match was like, it didn't because rope breaks don't break up the submissions in like submission matches. So like there was a point where they kept going for the ropes, but then like it was weird because then they had to like scramble out of the ring afterwards because like they didn't break up the submission. It was like weird how they did that, but yeah. Besides that weirdness, it was decent. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. It was nothing to like write home about or say was great, but it was something.
I will say that Natalya always wears the same thing.
Oh yes.
Yeah, then I mentioned is the material is always the same.
So
yeah, the ending was a bit. I think
the finish was just your generic episode where Becky would hit in the disarmer, Natalya tapped. That was practically that. Where do we rate this? I'm going to give it a 4.5. Actually, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
I think 4 is better generous, so I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 3. Just a 3. Because I feel like, I don't know, if it went on a bit longer, then maybe a bit higher, but I feel like there were some things I didn't like, and then the ending, I think, was a bit sudden. I mean, it was nice to put the armbar in the disarmer for like a bit longer than normal, but still, I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars.
I mean, at least Natalya knows how to sell an armbar, like disarmer, compared to Lacey Evans, who just taps instantly. And I mean, there was a discussion in the chat about which submission would hurt more, the sharpshooter or the disarmer. That was a kind of a debate in the chat.
I think disarmer.
I guess kayfabe, you're speaking kayfabe or non-kayfabe. Of course, in real life, the sharpshooter wouldn't have that much, but in kayfabe, it's been built up as such a powerful submission in the decades of wrestling. I feel like in kayfabe, sharpshooter is a more powerful one. But of course, disarmer in real life, that hurts. it's an armbar. Yeah. But yeah.
So, second match of the night, I feel it was a good one. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler.
Not gonna lie, it was actually kind of good.
It was great.
I feel like it shouldn't have been there at all, but because it was there, I was entertained and laughed at what I got. At least, yeah.
Dolph Ziggler was like almost murdered by the spear.
Yeah. I mean, I was a bit caught off guard by because before the match he went on the promo, and he was like, "See, he's the guy," because he doesn't normally show up to matches. I think he's talking about the wrong person. That's Brock, not Goldberg. Goldberg shows up. But then, I mean, when the match started, like it started off straight away like 2 super kicks, didn't it? I was like, "Yo!"
I never really got that though. That's the thing, because literally Dolph Ziggler got on the mic and said that, "Oh, he's the guy who never shows up for matches," and I'm like, what?
Incorrect.
You guys are facing Goldberg, not Brock Lesnar.
Maybe he said the wrong thing. But I mean, I like Dolph talking, like on the promos. If there was no promos, I would have felt like this is Bill.
To be fair, Dolph Ziggler is great on the mic. I mean, he called Goldberg a dipshit.
Oh yeah.
He's always going to be that one guy who can freaking talk the talk and stuff, and walk the walk, but can never actually like get it done. The company will never see him as a top star.
Well, you know, almost. You know, he gave them 2 super kicks to the chest to Goldberg, even though Goldberg kicked out at 1 every time, and then he spears him, and then.
Yeah, and then after the match, we saw probably the biggest beatdown of Dolph Ziggler's career.
Yeah, probably because he beat him normally, you know, with the jackhammer, not the brainbuster, because he almost killed.
Goldberg literally hit a spear after the match on Dolph Ziggler. As Dolph Ziggler was like almost begging for it, and Dolph Ziggler pretty much almost did a backflip. So
I mean, what made it even more funny was that Goldberg actually went to the back, and then Ziggler called him out for like the 2nd time, and they just played his music again. Like, yep, just bring him on back out again.
Any man can get lucky twice. Oh my.
I mean, you really have to give respect to Dolph Ziggler because he's going to Raw tonight, or he's going to Raw because it's also being recorded before Raw to face Miz. So if he makes it to Raw, props to him after that.
Yeah, I like the third beat up as well because Goldberg lifted up Dolph and it was like he was respecting him, and he walks off a bit, and then he does the whole Roman Reigns bouncing off the rope spear. I was like, oh god damn it, he's dead.
Okay, so when we rate this, it was fantastic. I'm giving it 4 again.
For what it was, I would give it a 4.
See, the whole segment, I'd give a 3.5. It was enjoyable. 3.5 is good for me. 3.5 out of 5. It was an enjoyable segment. The match, and then the promos from Dolph, and then constantly getting beat up. It was enjoyable the way they did it, executed nicely. Shouldn't have been on the card at all. I think no. Goldberg, no reason. There was no point.
So hold on, Harvester. Are you telling me you'd rather have Miz versus Ziggler at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I would have liked it. Or, you know, give me Shawn and Ziggler, like, being into that. Because I just don't want Shawn's last match.
I think I would prefer Dolph versus The Miz with Shawn as the special guest ref.
Yes.
And then obviously that could lead to Shawn versus Ziggler at the Saudi show.
Now, I mean, let's talk about someone getting beat up. Ricochet. Oh, what have they done to Ricochet?
Well, I don't think...
Ricochet and AJ Styles.
It could have been better.
Yeah, it was decent. I feel like I expected more, to be honest. It was decent though.
Me and Creeps hyped it up. We hyped it up last week, and we said, "Oh, it's going to be a great match between Styles and Ricochet." I don't think it was. I feel the only good part was Ricochet leaping off Gallows and Anderson's shoulders to attack Styles. Sorry, that was fantastic.
The ending was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty like average wrestling in between, but yeah, the beginning part, yeah, like Ryan said, coming off, and yeah, like what Creeps just said, that fantastic.
The ending was fantastic.
That was so good. Like, he decided to do a Hurricanrana sort of thing, and then like AJ catches him into the.
And like Ryan said on episode 1 of the JNC show, we thought it was going to be an amazing match between AJ and Styles.
Yeah, AJ and Styles. He's done it before. I remember before.
I've done it multiple times before. But I mean, I want to mention something about the OC. They had a backstage segment with Finn, which was kind of interesting. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
The backstage thing they did with Finn, where they kind of hinted at, oh, if you need help against the Fiend, which he could have, they would have been there. But I was like, no, I don't need you guys. Don't You
I like the
guys-
angle was a bit weird though, because like they did the whole too sweet thing, but I don't think they walked off. It sort of didn't the camera
They just
move.
walked off.
Oh, I must have missed that because like the camera was for me to move the fin, and then like it just like was a bit. It
Died.
just faded away. Oh, before we move on to anything else, by the way, before ending with the AJ and Ricochet match. So, guys, it seemed like everyone's WWE Network online was also messing up. So that was
The
nice.
WWE Network was
WWE
absolutely
Network was trash.
It was trash. It jumped from like point to point and stuff.
Feel bad
It
for
kept
Bailey after
freezing.
he went back on it. After he went back on his account, it sounded like he had it worse than like any of us did throughout the whole thing.
There was a
Jesus.
part of my network last night when I was watching the Ricochet vs AJ Styles match, and all of a sudden it just showed Natalia making an entrance, then it jumped back to Ricochet vs AJ Styles. It's like, what?
I think someone's must have glitched as well when like a match for the no, just quickly jump to the main event. We heard a bell, so someone's must have like come back to like the bell or something.
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
heard a bell.
There was a bell for someone.
So,
and we're like, who is that?
Someone
I thought it
must
was
have like
Bailey.
cut back. And I'm bored. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. He might have went back and not heard it, and then when we jumped forward for his.
Okay, so where do we rate
End of
this?
yeah.
No, we have to rate Styles.
3.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 3.
Yeah. I mean, I gave Goldberg and Ziggler 3.5. Yeah, I'll give this one a 3.5. I liked the beginning and like as at the ending. I also liked afterwards when he had the OC sort of attack Ricochet. It was sort of like they're properly building them as like a trio because he was like trio. What am I saying? Well, yeah, trio. Because he made them beat up Ricochet, sort of like an NWO sort of thing. NWO.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like
Now,
yeah. So they just did the
This,
finish.
this disappointing match of the night. Bailey and Ember Moon.
You see.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
It was alright. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
Crowd.
Like it was.
Crowd was
was
most
dead.
dead for this one, I feel. Yeah. But I don't blame them because there wasn't barely much build for this one, was there? I mean, they didn't give us a video package as well, which I noticed. Which I found
No,
funny.
they kept like destroying Ember over the past couple of weeks. She got pinned by Bliss 2 weeks ago, and then last week she got attacked like during a match with Natalia. She got in the sharpshooter on the outside, had to be saved by Bailey. So I was like, no, this is not good for Ember.
So she pretty much got buried because she kept getting beat up, and then at SummerSlam she loses. Oh,
Yeah.
she got buried. Oh, I love Ember as well. God damn it.
I think we all had her winning.
Yeah, because it just made them. Guess.
I'd definitely give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, like there wasn't really much.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much spots to talk about in this match, so I give it
But,
a 3.5.
But I like.
Can
Oh, you quit you.
I introduce the next match?
You
Oh, wait,
may
I
introduce the
haven't
next
said
match.
Ember.
Yes, yes. I'll let Creeps do this. Go on, Creeps. Next match is.
So the next match is Kevin Owens versus the best in the world. Shane
I like this match.
With a special guest enforcer, Elias.
Elias.
I was a fan of this match. It was.
I was definitely a fan of this match.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes I just like some silly wrestling shit. Not silly, but just a bit.
It was a great match.
cute.
It was a great match.
It was quite moist.
I did really like the ending. Kevin Owens just kicking shit in his hands.
Yeah, because throughout the match, Kevin Owens kept getting a chair and being like, should I hit Shane and get
Well, I mean,
disqualified
Elias
and
threw it
lose
in.
my job? Yeah, Elias threw it in. Yeah, but he kept thinking of doing it, and then he almost did later on. But then the ref was like, oh no. He beat up Elias with the chair.
He beat up Elias with a chair, but then.
What
he
I do
went for
think
Shane.
will happen though is, I think Shane will come out on SmackDown and say that Kevin Owens has to quit because he attacked the referee and it should have been disqualification. I feel like
Something
they'll do
like
that.
I don't want to see
attack
Shane. I
Elias
don't. I know he lost, but I don't want to see him. I don't.
Oh, you just know he's
in
gonna,
the world has to
you're just
show up
gonna-
again.
you just know he's gonna start SmackDown.
Yeah, but there was some nice stuff throughout this match. Like I enjoyed the KO Yeah, like Ryan said, when one of you said he took out both refs, he did it with like a cannonball off the apron, and he hit the ref and the
Like,
Elias involved
he
with the
only
ref.
did that because Kevin Owens had the match won and Elias pulled out the ref. Because even though,
Yeah.
I think it was after Shane took out Elias, and then Owens delivered the Swanton, did the frog splash,
Yeah.
and was about to win, and then Elias pulled him out. So Kevin obviously took out Elias and the ref, used the chair on Elias, went to use it on Shane, and then the referee kind of came back in. I feel they're going to do Elias versus Kevin on SmackDown. I got a feeling it's going to happen.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I was fine with the ending as well when he got hit in the McMahon's, like Creep said, yeah.
That's great.
Because he was the ref. He was like, "Oh, you're right. I'll put the chair down." As the ref takes the chair out, it just kicks him right.
One thing I will say though, before we move on to before the rating this match, is this SummerSlam actually felt like it was actually shorter than I expected.
It was only 3.5 hours long.
It was only 3.5 hours. 3 hours 27.
It's quite short.
Damn, hours 27.
Yeah.
And
So ratings, where are we going?
the rings.
I'm gonna give it a 4.3.
4.5 for me.
4.3 for me. 5.
I'd give it 3.75. So 3 3/4 stars.
So, up next, guarantee. This is a joke, by the way. 5 stars. Entitled Flair versus Trish Stratus. Yep, 5 stars, totally.
This was actually the best women's match of the night. It was actually a really good match. Like Trish Stratus showed. It was honestly.
Yeah,
Trish Stratus showed that she could still go.
Yeah,
Okay. Trish Stratus,
yeah.
she put Charlotte Flair over. She put Charlotte Flair over while also making herself look good. The match was actually amazing, and I think it was better than Shane vs Kevin. So I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Sorry, Ryan.
I
Drops the mic.
Drops them. Before we go on to Ryan moaning about the match, because Charlotte won, I still wanted more from the match. I feel like it could have been better, but it was not bad. It was quite good. It was quite enjoyable. And I also like how the ending when it was like didn't Trish like put the figure 8 on Charlotte as well at some point, and then they like swapped around or whatever. Like, and I liked the ending. She didn't. It took a while to for her to tap out. It wasn't like a medium or like quick tap. It was quite a while for her to tap out in her like home place. So big.
Do you think we'll get Bayley versus Charlotte at the next SmackDown
Don't.
or the next pay-per-view? Oh, you just know what's going to happen. It's going to be Bayley versus Charlotte, without a doubt.
Harvester, do your ratings.
Oh no! This match. I'd give it 3 points. 5.
I'm giving it a 2.5.
Just because Charlotte lost.
3.5, 3.2.
I'm giving it a 2.5. 1, because Trish was able to hold her own, and 2, the entitled 1-1.
See, I was thinking of giving it a 3.25, but then I gave Ziggler and Goldberg 3.5 because it was so enjoyable. But I give 3.5 for this one. Go ahead. Yeah, 3.5.
Moving right along, Creek predicted this one.
Maybe this match could end in a double count out or something, which I understand would piss off fans, but at Clash of Champions they could have an actual match, Kofi would win, and then Orton would eventually win a Hell in a Cell.
Double count
Yeah,
out.
I predicted the end of this, man. Double count out Orton versus Kofi Kingston, which was originally meant to be the main event, but they changed it because they didn't want it, like, fans go home.
You couldn't
sad.
send the
Hey,
fans
that ended
home
the
that
show.
way.
I would hated the SummerSlam more. So.
It was a great match, though. It was average.
Well,
Something.
No, would it even be average?
Well, in my opinion, I felt like it was going somewhere. I felt like it was getting
Randy
into
had
that,
the match
like,
won. Randy had it won.
He's stupid. Okay, before I move on to the RKO, which was moist. Yeah, the match itself before it ended in the stupid double count out. It was
the ending was so stupid. Like Kofi was outside the ring. Oh no, Kofi was outside the ring, and then I think like Randy Orton went outside, and they were only outside for about 5 seconds, and it was like a double count. Was it what?
Yeah, it was an okay match. I felt like it ended too early with the double count out, which was stupid because he
It
hits
could have been
the
better.
It could have been better.
Kofi went for like a splash RKO, which was nice because you sort of expect it. But instead of going for the pin, he just lies there like, I did it.
He just starts laughing. Randy just starts laughing, and then Kofi obviously rolls out. Randy goes out after him, and then next thing, ding, ding, ding. What just happened?
Yeah. I think it's also because he held his head, didn't he? And then it was like his kids were like in the on the barricade or something like that. So he was like holding his face near his kids or something like that. And then like it's like ding ding ding. It's like you stupid. Okay.
And then Kofi beat the hell out of him with a kendo stick. So I got a feeling their next match, a Clash of Champions.
Oh yeah.
Which match.
Yeah, of course. But when I said it's a joke in the live stream, oh yeah, just let him count out, Randy. Oh, you don't get the title. Shit. Well, looks like you still let it count out, fool. But yeah, underwhelming match. I definitely was not like a fan. Not gonna lie. It was okay.
I wonder if I wonder if the timing of it was wrong. Like I was wondering, I wonder if it wasn't maybe a double count. I wonder if the referee was meant to ring the bell when Kofi hit him with the kendo stick.
No,
yeah, but he didn't even because he didn't start doing that. He started to like proper like pound on Randy, didn't he? And then like get the kendo stick. See, it took me a while afterwards. I was thinking maybe he would turn, but I don't think so because again, family sort of got involved. Maybe slowly turning into more of a savage Kofi, maybe something like that. Because he's not really one to do that.
That's how he was in Randy Orton's in his first feud with Randy Orton back in 2009.
Yeah,
but I'd give it a 3.8.
This time Randy was a stupid one. Maybe that's the point. Huh. Or was you guys ratings against him? 3.5. I'd give this one a
3.8.
Oh, I'd give this one a 3.25. It really annoyed me.
3.25?
Yeah, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the wrestling in it, and then the ending didn't make me like it anymore.
So.
Oh, is it time? Is it time for the best thing on the show?
Oh my god,
yes, yes,
yes.
Time for the best
100% yes.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
The Fiend is the best thing in WWE, in wrestling. I'm sorry, but Bray Wyatt works with everything.
It's the best thing I've seen all year, not gonna lie.
His entrance, his look, his the mask he carried out as the lantern, his old head.
His old head
and the mouth is like the light. It's like, yo, it's like...
His new theme song, which is a remix of his old theme song, Broken Out in Love.
It was sick.
I mean, can we talk about how Finn Balor pretty much shit himself when the lights came back on? The camera just zoomed in on Finn, he was like...
Telling his face, he regretted all his luck.
I'll say this, Finn. Enjoy your 2 months off.
Yeah. Kid squash. I'm gonna go now, guys. I'm just. You should have been the. See, maybe the food will continue, and then we'll get a demon, and then the Fiend will beat the demon.
I think you'll find Finn won't be coming back for a while. I'm pretty sure Bray snapped his neck.
I do like how they kept the Firefly thing, where people had their phone lights.
Oh yeah, of course. It was guaranteed they'd keep that. They wouldn't get rid of that.
But I think the entrance was just so bad. Like before he even came out, it did the whole let
Firefly Funhouse
in. Firefly Funhouse, I did that before.
They played that, and then it sort of dripped away on the screen, and then went into his whole thing. So.
Yeah, I love his mask as well. I like that. It's cool. I also realized throughout the match, he sort of looked he kept looking at his hands or whatever, he was sort of
he did
conflicted on what to do, so a split personality sort of thing, it feels like, which is which basically sort of is what it is. So I like if they kept doing that. The match itself was actually fun to watch as well, not just the entrance.
Oh yes, yeah. And then
it was actually amazing.
He even went for the Sister Abigail. Finn got a good amount of shots in, but in the end it was that manual claw into the pin. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I did like the. I did like how it was. This is how you do a squash match. Okay, you don't just be the 0 moves from the one getting squashed. He did. Yeah, like you said.
Finn Balor actually had a good showing though. He did.
Yeah. He did get some
Finn
moves.
had a good showing.
Because Bray, when he was conflicted, it was like, yeah, he got some like overhead
To
kicks
be honest,
in, and then he
to
was
be
like,
honest,
oh, fuck.
I'm really surprised that Finn didn't short in those white pants last night.
Yeah, he should have worn some brown pants just to be safe. But yeah, he went for like he went. Yeah, I wish he hit the Sister Abigail. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the show he's not really gonna use that much because he wouldn't end up hitting it.
I mean, even
But,
after the match, Bray like teleporting pretty much from the ring to the stage. That was quite cool.
Yeah. I'm just
but-
imagining that what that would look like if the lights on. You just see him putting up.
But I loved all that. And look, yeah, and what Ryan said about the mandible claw. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of I'm not sure if I like it or not. I like the coup de grace to the mandible claw and how he like put him down. I don't know if I'm a fan of him passing out from it and then pinning off that. I feel like it feels unique sort of, doesn't it? Because
I will say this though, I've got my Halloween costume sorted, and I know I'm dressed up for Halloween this year. I am definitely dressed as the Fiend because it's like, I was thinking about some other stuff, but like this, I have to Fiend.
they better sell those lanterns. I need to put that
Oh,
on like.
I mean, I know
I
on
did that as a
WWE
lamp in my room.
on WWE.com, like WWE shop, they do have the heart and heel gloves. They have the mask and
Yeah,
everything, and they
and
do
the
have
mask.
like the puppets and stuff. So you're halfway there.
Nice.
And I'm probably gonna get like the pants as well from like a different shop, which look like them.
It was
Okay,
always
so
executed.
this one
Really.
4.9 rating, 4.9, not quite 5.
We have forgot to mention something as well.
Huh?
When Bray
No.
Wyatt just snapped Finn Balor's neck.
Oh my god! I thought
they were gonna do a storyline. Do you know when you get that thing where you get a
Yeah.
thousand like thoughts through your head?
Yeah, like a thousand thoughts at once.
Like, yeah.
I was like,
I thought they were gonna do a
whoa.
storyline where Finn Balor would just died.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, is this why it was rumored for TV14? And I was like, is
This why he's taking time off?
Whoa! But no, he was fine. Because he literally, it wasn't like a head crank. It was literally like he twisted his neck and then just like twisted it.
And just snapped it. That was it. Game over.
It's like,
Sure.
No,
whoa.
it's the way how the camera panned out or panned into the fiend,
Yeah.
after it happened. Like, ooh,
It's like in a
shit.
movie when someone snaps a neck. It's felt like that. It was like, yo. But yeah, Fiend, great. so great. But on the rating, you sort of missed out on that. Ryan, what was your rating? Did you say?
Mine was 4.9. Not quite 5, but 4.9.
Fair. Green, so do you rate the whole thing? The whole thing.
The whole thing, I would give it a 4 point. Like, are we talking about the match itself or like the whole thing?
The match. Like the whole match.
the
4
match.
out of 5, but the entire Fiend thing 5.
Okay, the whole Fiend thing. Okay, I'll give the character Bray 5, but the match itself 4.9.
The match itself, like the 4 actually, yeah, screw it. 4 for the match itself as well, because it did a good squash match and it made sense for the whole storyline going into it and how it was the Fiend's debut, and as well as that. But then if you put the whole segment into it, I'd give it a 4.5. Not segment, yeah, the whole like segment of the pay-per-view with the Fiend, I'd give it a 4.5 because it was just so a great debut, a great showing. After the match, during the match, it was
Better question before we move on to the main event. Where does Fiend go next? What happened next? What does Bray do
I
from
think
here?
he'll target, like, I don't think he'll target Alistair because, like, it's too soon to have.
No.
lose.
I know who his next target is. It's Kalisto. He mentioned on Twitter that he wants the Fiend. Kalisto got the attention of Bray Wyatt on Twitter, so it's going to be Kalisto. Watch. Lucha
Maybe
House
Ronda
Party
Rousey.
versus Bray. Just shut up, please.
Ronda Rousey.
Please. Actually, no. I'll agree with that one unless the Fiend snaps her neck.
Hey, the Fiend will destroy Ronda. Let's go, boys.
Agree
In all
with that
honesty,
one.
though, I think the next target for the Fiend will probably either be Roman, if he's the one who did it, or maybe, I don't know. Ricochet? I mean, Ricochet's got something. At least he'll have something to do.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see Ricochet going for the US title again.
I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he could go for the. If
It could go over Brian.
True.
True.
Which brand? The Fiend's been switching brands, right? Or was he on
Okay.
SmackDown?
Oh no! No, I
upset
guarantee
the
the
one.
next feud will. No, you know who I think his next feud will be?
Who do you think?
Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah, the Shane thing is
God.
actually
I think Shane will set.
We
Shane
don't
will,
need.
no, Shane will set the Fiend on Kevin Owens.
We don't need Shane McMahon and Bray. That'll ruin it. We don't need Bray being pulled into the Omni Shane.
Well, I guess it might. I think I don't really want that, but I think it could work if Shane doesn't actually have that much involvement. He sets, but maybe that doesn't fit the Fiend's character. But maybe
Let him in.
he could set. Yeah, he sets the Fiend on him. But Shane.
I think it'll either be Ricochet, Kevin Owens, Roman.
I think the KO might work if Shane doesn't
Miz?
get involved.
Miz?
After saying, "Oh,
One of those four.
it's gonna be Goldberg watching that."
No, stop.
But yeah, I feel like the Kevin Owens thing could work though if like Shane only gets involved with, oh yeah, the Fiend's on you now, and then he doesn't show up until after the Fiend's feud with him. He's like, so shit, how are you feeling now?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
Fiend, best thing I've seen WWE all year, best thing at
Definitely.
SummerSlam. On to the
Guaranteed.
main event.
Main event time, boys. Beast Slayer, Beast. Universal title.
I mean,
Rollins wins again.
yeah, Rollins won. I'm happy with the result. Of course,
I'm happy. I'm happy he won.
But the match is.
But you know who's not happy? Name one person who's not happy.
Well, Bailey.
Bailey. Not happy at all with Seth Rollins winning.
I think Bailey just. I think.
Guys, to give you guys some like background, okay? So Seth Rollins won last night, and the first thing that Billy said was, "His last title reign was shit."
Well, he
And
said,
as we all agreed, we all agreed. We all agreed that the only reason his reign was shit was because look who he was feuding with, Baron Bloody Corbin.
His feud with AJ was good, but
I sort
then
of feel Bailey's like hate because the whole Universal title has been a complete roller coaster of trash in its reign, and I think maybe he was hurt from Seth because Seth finally got it and Brock lost it, which everyone wanted.
Yeah.
And then after Seth, not his fault, but after him having not that good of a reign, it sort of would hurt quite a lot. So I do understand.
I definitely think the best Universal Championship reign is Kevin Owens.
Yeah, without a doubt, 100%. That was because of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, why it was so good.
But in terms of the match, it was actually better than I expected it would be. Like Seth Rollins had the crowd booing him at the start, but as the match
That is
progressed,
true.
the crowd got more.
Even that backstage segment with him and Bret Hart lasted like a second. They were booing him in that.
Yeah, I think it's just that's how you make the crowd. Sorry, that's how you make the fans change, and that's how you book a good babyface. The way they booked him was good.
Definitely.
I feel like I'm sort of getting tired of the same Lesnar formula. Let's change it up a bit. Again, it's nice, I get, but it's just the constant suplexes and the same stuff. I like do some unique stuff, or don't do the Lesnar formula for a while, then go back to it.
I hope that's Lesnar finished now.
Yeah, but I do like his when he picks up Seth because he was selling instead of selling the knee like he's done for years, he's selling the chest, the stomach area, and then Brock doesn't care and just picks him up by like the bandages and just spins him right round. Was good.
Like Seth getting out of the suplexes was just great, and then hitting that first stomp. I generally thought that's it, it's done, it's over. Nope.
Yeah, I felt like it was going to go on longer. I think because the main event, I felt like that.
He had to get a few more stomps in first.
Yeah, so it was okay. I think it was nice. It was just I don't know how to feel about it.
Okay, so we'll rate it. The main event. So how do we rate this? I'm gonna give it.
I think
3.6. 3.6.
I'm giving it a solid 4.5. I thought it was really good.
Solid.
I love the pop that Seth got when he backflipped out the German.
Yeah, because I think we knew what was coming after that backflip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a trying to think about it. I would give it a 3.75. Yep.
So that's all the matches on SummerSlam. How do we rate SummerSlam overall? And then we'll finish this by which was better, SummerSlam or TakeOver. Rate SummerSlam out of 10.
I think I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
It had its strong points, but it also had its weak points. I said the weak points being the the women's championship matches and stuff, and then like some matches being underwhelming and stuff. But then the strongest points were obviously the Seth Rollins Universal Championship win, the Fiend, perhaps the best thing of the night, not
And
the best thing of the night.
even some matches not even on the card. No IC title, no tag titles, and then the random match between Murphy and Apollo Crews. What was that?
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't add Shinsuke vs Ali. I think that would have been amazing. I
Might
mean,
be a
even the
Clash
show
Champions.
even the show being 3.5 hours, you would have thought it would be a bit longer.
Yeah.
So
Champs.
where do you put SummerSlam?
Trying to think, because it seems like of most pay-per-views in WWE, when I first watched them, it's like I think of them, and then the next day I think of it, or the next few days, and I'm like, it seems better in my head now than how when I watched it. It's just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I felt more disappointed for SummerSlam, but I think I hyped it up more in my mind than I should have. I'm not too sure.
It all depends how you hype it up, really, or how they hype it up. But like, I definitely want to ask you guys, where do you think Seth Rollins is gonna go? Who do you think his next challenger will be? Because I think it's gonna be Drew.
It's a hard one. I don't know. It could be Drew, but then again, Drew's over with Shane, so it might not be Drew.
I honestly have no opinion. I think it should be some fresh blood who hasn't went for the world title. I don't know who.
Well, I mean, Creeps, you mentioned earlier to me, Johnny.
That would be amazing, though, because if Johnny beats Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship, Seth Rollins turns on Johnny, turns heel, because he went through all that shit with Brock Lesnar, getting hurt and stuff and injured, only to have that happen.
Yeah, I feel like that would be nice. That sounds great. I would love that. That would see. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be great. That would
That would be
better
awesome,
than
and that's with a rebuild Seth Rollins, like to have him turn heel.
That would be great to rebuild Seth and to have Gargano come on the scene like, hey guys who don't watch NXT, yeah, watch it because I'm
Fuck
great.
you.
So we'll end this episode of the JNC show with one question: SummerSlam, TakeOver. Which is better?
Oh, which one's better?
Yeah.
Oh, basically. So Creeps, you go first.
It definitely is a hard one, because obviously TakeOver had less matches. It's I don't think I can't choose.
All right, no, that's fine. Sometimes you don't have to choose. Harvester, you got some?
I'll take over with that. I'm still sort of disappointed for SummerSlam. I think my rating for SummerSlam, yeah, I think it's probably a 7 or a 6.5. I don't know. Maybe 6.5, 6.75 SummerSlam, something like that. But I think TakeOver definitely a better show. That is, I'm not conflicted now.
If I had to choose one, I'm going to choose TakeOver.
Yeah, I'm with Chris in this one. Can't choose. Refuse to. It's a hard one to choose sometimes, so.
I mean, The Fiend made me, juice everywhere, but I think TakeOver is still, like, easily a better show in my opinion. But, it's all about opinions and wrestling, it's all subjective. Someone could think fucking Goldberg and Ziggler was fucking 5 out of fucking 69.
I mean, I will say this, though. I do think Seth Rollins' next challenger could be Ronda Rousey.
Shut up, Cribs. Wrap the podcast up.
Alright, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who watched this episode 2. Thank you to Harvey for joining. And as I said at the start of the video, my name is Creeps, his name is Jobber, and we will see you on episode 3 of the J and C.